the Mothership. They had a documentary, if you have on TV, they had a documentary that they are playing now. They are playing during the month of February, that verifies the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad concerning the presence of what they call unidentified flying objects. They are not objects from out of space. They are objects from right here on this earth, flown and mastered by superior intelligence. And these scientists came on the television talking about how they were flying their plane, and one of them was right near their wing. And then it took off at incredible speeds, doing things that no plane has ever been known to do. You know, they have to bank. This thing just shoots out, stops. I mean, look, this is unreal. At speeds they've been clocked of up to 25,000 miles per hour. Heavy, brother. One time that the scientist said the Air Force sent some of their jets up after these unidentified, they call them flying objects. They're made like little wheels. And the scientist said that when they got so close to the plane shot out a ray at them and messed up all their electronics, and they lost complete control of the plane. And the plane started falling out of the sky, and as it got further and further away from this circular plane, it gradually got control of itself, or they got control of the plane. This happened to a passenger plane. Not only army planes, but passenger planes have encountered these things. Now, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that it's written in the Bible, in the book of Ezekiel, where Ezekiel in 595 BC had a vision of a wheel in the middle of a wheel, and it said it was run by the grace of God. It had eyes all around it. The wheel is not actually just a wheel up there, but it's a plane made like a wheel. And the Honorable Elijah Muhammad says the mother plane is made a half a mile by a half a mile, and in it there are 1,500 of these little planes. Now, the white man knows that they're up there, and they're not up there to play. They're up there to destroy the present world. Now, you can take it or let it alone. Well, white folks are petrified because they can't handle it. And there's nothing that they have in science or technology that will enable them to handle these planes. Now, more and more, brothers and sisters, white people are going to admit that it's their end. And before you can say that Elijah Muhammad is a liar, you're going to be seeing these planes over the major cities. Now, I'm just telling you, so when you see it, don't get crazy, don't panic. It's your brothers, it's your people. Don't panic, don't get excited. Oh, black people are the greatest scientists the world has ever known. You don't believe that, but it's an actual fact. White folks know it. You and I have been made the dumbest people ever to be on the earth, but we are descendants of gods. Take it or let it alone. So, beloved, when you see these planes, I mean, I've seen the little one. I'm not too anxious to see the big one. I was driving from a Savior's Day convention on the Pennsylvania Turnpike, going back to Boston where I lived. And one of them came right down over the highway. Oh, man. It was such a beautiful sight. I stopped the car, jumped out and hollered. You know, I wanted them to come back. I really wanted to get a ride, you know what I mean? I'm just telling you the truth. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad didn't make us to fear them, but he said the big one that it comes from, it's a dreadful looking thing. And can you imagine, just imagine a mechanical object made like a wheel. 1/2 a mile by a 1/2 a mile. That's 8, nearly 9 football fields long, 9 football fields wide. And you imagine something like that coming down out of the clouds. It would bust your heart just to see something like that, day or night. So I can imagine how shook up white folks were when they first saw it in 1930. And if you remember the great blackout in New York City, where all the lights went out, elevators stopped, cars couldn't move, some of them. When was it? November the 9th, 1965. Were you there, said, when the lights went out? And those who took pictures of that night up over New York City, you could see a very bright object that was no star and was no planet, had sucked up all the juice, Jim, and stopped white folks from moving. I mean, look, when you see how powerful the God is, white folks really are little children. You know, the Holy Quran, I'm going to close this off. The Holy Quran, to show you how weak your enemy that you worship is. The Quran says this: if a gnat took as much as a morsel of bread from those whom you worship besides Allah, they have not the power to call the gnat back to bring that morsel of bread. Now think over that. It says weak is the invoker and weak is the invoked. Weak is the caller and weak is he who calls. Now you know how small a gnat is? And this is supposed to be a powerful dude. And if the gnat comes down and takes a crumb from him, he don't have the power to say, come back here, gnat, and bring me my bread. But he can call you and make you and me come. Go here, go there. And like little silly servants, we obey a man that cannot make a gnat bow, and we refuse to obey God, who has the power over all things. I think we ought to rethink our position.
Thank you, Brother Farrakhan.